we're not drinking tonight. If you could only see the stuff that Evan does, it doesn't get on camera. Ow! It's a fun game. Today we're gonna do marinated steak kebabs. So I found a marinade, never used it before. I sent it to Evan, he threw it together, and we have four New York strips that have been marinating in this for about 2 days. What's really great about these kind of recipes is you can take your meat, throw the marinade and everything in it, throw it in the freezer, and just freeze it. And it's good. So whenever you get ready to go to work the day before, or the night before, pull it out, throw it in the refrigerator. By the time you get home, it's thawed, it's marinated, and it's ready to go on the grill. So prep ahead's a good thing. So because these are New York strips, one of the first things we're going to do, because we are doing kebabs on them, is we're going to cut the fat cap that's off the edge. And the reason we're doing that is because right under the fat cap, there's also some silver skin. So, got to get that out of the way. Next, what you're going to do is cut the strip in half long ways, to where you get about an inch thick wide portion. Last cut, cube it up into about half-inch wide segments. And this is what's going to go on your skewer. Whenever you're putting these things in the marinade, you can cut these up beforehand and then throw them in the freezer. That way they're all ready to go. You pull them out, throw them on, you're good. You can see the color difference, how it's darker there and there. That's actually from the marinade soaking in. So you can see how far the marinade got. And that's a 2-day soak. Moving on to the next round of veg. So for bell peppers, you see the veins that are running along bell peppers. If you cut right along those veins, what you'll end up doing is cutting it and leaving all the white bitter parts intact. And with these, you're just going to cut them roughly the same size as your steak pieces. Because again, you're throwing these on the same kebab. Yes, this is the same bag that the beef came out of. It's all still going to get cooked. Whenever you're doing onions on a kebab, there's a little trick. This is the only time you will cut an onion straight through the core. Cut it through the core. Cut it in half again. Cut it in half again. Quarter it lengthwise. Pull the onion, pull the paper off the outside in the first layer or two.
Now Ryan is pretty good about reasons. I'm guessing this is one of those reasons.
Because now, once you have it like this, take the end off, and you have perfectly sized pieces that are nice and thin that also cup around the pieces of meat. We're going to toss the vegetables around, get them nice and seasoned, or get them nice and coated. More veg has showed up in the pan because
it's magic.
The company executive director said she wanted tomatoes and mushrooms on her kebab, so
that's what happened.
We're doing tomatoes and mushrooms. So these a lot of times come with stems. You pop the stem off and take a spoon and the little fin type gill things that are in here, scrape those out as best you can. What we're going to do with this now, just going to quarter them up, and we're not going to throw this in the marinade because these absorb a lot of flavor. Ready to get to building?
Skewers!
Yes. So we're going to start with 17 tomatoes.
Sounds about right.
And then we're going to put on 1 mushroom and no meat.
That's your funeral, bro.
I know. Alright, whenever you're skewering meat, you want to look at where the grain is. So this one, whenever we had it laying out, it's easy because it's marinated. The marinated sides are there, the middle is there, so you want to skewer it through the grain when the marinated sides are out, like that. So that's how Michelle's is going to be.
Okay.
We got everything done up. Our seasonings, we're going to use our regular 3-2-1 mix. We're going to do about a tablespoon of that, 3 parts pepper, 2 parts salt, 1 part garlic. And to that, I'm gonna add about a half a teaspoon of Chinese 5-spice. So Chinese 5-spice is some ground ginger, some ground cloves, some cinnamon, things like that. And it gives it kind of an Asian spin. They're very earthy kind of spices. We're gonna take it, and because everything's got lots of marinade on it, it's all gonna stick really well. Because these have been marinated, we don't have to go with the same high-powered amount of seasonings that we normally do. Oh, this 5 sauce has such a good smell. Love the way it smells. Cooking outside, the wind's blowing, just kind of sprinkle with the wind and let it carry it. Makes for very even seasoning. Got the grill, medium-high, everything's running about 400 degrees. I'm going to throw these on. We're gonna let these go for about 4 or 5 minutes. Open the lid, check them. It's gonna be lots of turning. Start throwing some soy sauce on it as it's cooking to kind of caramelize into it. It's gonna be good. It just dawned on me that I didn't give y'all a marinade recipe. I don't remember the marinade recipe, do you?
1/4 cup of the soy sauce, 1/4 cup of the Worcestershire.
Yeah,
1/4 cup of
Dijon
mustard, salt, pepper, garlic, and then you put in something rather.
Teaspoon of Chinese 5-spice.
Apparently, that's what that is.
Time to start doing the flipping.
Just so you know, he can't feel his fingers. He can't feel them. And he's there with the tongs trying to do that thing.
You know why you put onions on kebabs? Meh,
I have no idea.
they're thermostats.
This I gotta see. This you gotta see.
So, what color is an onion whenever you cut it? Typically white, right?
Right.
What happens to an onion when you cook it? It starts turning clear, right? So whenever you have your kebabs and your onions are starting to get clear, that's how you know everything's getting close to getting done. So we got about 3 or 4 minutes left on these. We're gonna do one more turn, if they'll turn. We're gonna soy sauce them up some more, let that caramelize on there. Just let them go. We're gonna let those go for a couple more minutes. We're gonna get these prepped up, we're gonna give these a try, and we're ready to eat. No whiskey tonight. Remember what I said earlier, that Evan and Michelle have a date night, so we're not drinking tonight. We also don't have any new whiskey to drink in the house. That's a mushroom.
That's not me.
I'll eat a lot of that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, date night is not gonna have dinner involved because we're eating here.
Who's someone to come over and cook?
I know.
More money for drinking.
I'm not blaming you. You know what would go with this though?
I think Macallan would work with this.
Macallan's got a bit of a smoky to it though.
Yeah.
I have Macallan.
I cooked this without smoke.
I know if
You have Macallan here?
No, we're not gonna go get it. I have a date night. We're gonna be responsible. Share it with friends.
Cheers!